During President Trump's 2024 campaign, the former president made many promises that he left unfulfilled. But we are only going to talk about the three most important things here because I can name about 20 different things that he didn't do. So, I believe the four biggest promises to me the president left unfulfilled are not delivering on Epstein files, lowering prices to an affordable level, which millions of Americans want. I mean, who doesn't? No, we don't want no new wars and mass deportations. During Trump's 2024 campaign, many Americans were excited, as well as I, hopefully to turn things around from the disastrous Joe Biden administration. Since 2020, we have seen prices go up 54%, more wars than ever in the world, and we got no answers with the Epstein files. On Inauguration Day January 20, 2025, I was watching President Trump being sworn in office. I believe that from this day forward, we would finally see a president who would put America first. This was the defining moment for the United States to see what campaign promise he would deliver on first. Was it the Epstein files, stopping forever wars like in Ukraine? Was it the start of mass deportations and lowering prices? We were going to find out the hard way that Trump had become a different person since his first presidency back in 2017. In February 2025, Trump's new Attorney General, Pam Bondi, directed by Trump, told her to get ready to release the Epstein files. This was a moment every American and myself wanted to see how evil a man like Jeffrey Epstein was. As the days turned into weeks and the months went on, we got no clear answers. Finally, in November 2025, some of the files were released, but it was redacted file after redacted file. When I took a look at some of the documents, with no real accountability and transparency from the administration, I left MAGA as well as thousands of other voters. Another promise Trump failed to keep was the promise of lowering prices and declare a cost of living crisis. I mean, we are in a cost of living crisis. It's just so obvious. The promise to lower prices is going to be the flashpoint for the 2026 midterms, which I am not voting for either Republican or Democrat because they both suck, costing the Republicans and President Trump the House, leaving another one less legislative body as an advantage. Since 2020, prices have surged overall by 54%. I mean, why are we paying for so much? I mean, come on. Prices have gone up since following the year since the COVID-19 pandemic in 2023. Corporations began to make record profits. They began to squeeze out the consumer, driving up prices by dynamic pricing done by AI, market concentration, and price fixing schemes. President Trump and his administration have not set any meaningful action. I mean, come on. What are we doing every day in this country? Are we twiddling our thumbs? Like, I don't know. Anyway, President Trump and his administration have not set any meaningful action in 26. Who wants to pay for a ridiculous amount of money for a subscription service, groceries and on a home and gas? Like, why? Like, what went wrong in our society where we're paying for 54% more in the cost of goods and living? It's outrageous. Like, for real? It's like we're living in the corporate states of America. The cost of living is only getting worse, and it's going to get worse, and it could even get worse. I mean, it could go up to like 60% for the overall cost of living. Who knows? Who knows in the near future what could really happen? But I have a few theories of what might be happening, but that's for a future video. Okay. In February 2026 has lasted for months until June 2026, and is at the risk of starting again. I'm talking about the Iran war here. A promise that Trump left unfulfilled about starting a new war. Nobody wants this war. Nobody wants to fight another country's war. And I am talking about Israel here, because they are trying to currently sabotage the negotiations. I did some research, and and this war costs more than $2 billion per day. It's crazy. Like, this should not be the burden of taxpayers, but unfortunately, here we are. This promise of starting no new wars by Trump and his team have pissed off hundreds of thousands of people, costing the president, even more support. This war costed us 16 soldiers in the Middle East, but they did not need to die. Whose fault is that? It's on the president for sending troops over to a highly dangerous area. The mass deportation promise of illegal immigrants was one of the most core promises by President Trump. Since the Obama and Biden administrations, I believe this number was made up to cover how many illegal aliens are really in the United States. So we are looking at 19.1 million known illegal immigrants, but I believe that number could be exceptionally more. 50 plus million hiding in our country? I don't know. Maybe we're looking at close to 100 million. President Trump backed out on the promise of mass deportations in March 2026 to try to calm tensions between the federal government and unruly left-wing citizens. Only 1,600 and 2,600 illegal immigrants are being deported per day. To me, that is not a promise of mass deportations, and we need to get those numbers up to at least 40,000 per day. But 2.2 million illegal immigrants self-deported, but we need to do more. I believe we need a president who can lead us through tough times, and President Trump is clearly not the answer, and neither will Marco Rubio or J.D. Vance be the solution either. We need a president who can withstand outside pressure from outside influence, even from his own administration. I believe that man may be me one day. I do not know when that could be, but when I turn 35 years old, it might be a possibility, even at 40 years old. Who knows? Because one thing for sure is, if I ever ran for president, I would keep my promises and not sell us out to a foreign country like President Trump has in this second administration.